My question to the PUC and even to the legislature, and we are legislators and this committee has been set up, and I'm simply asking someone to give a rational explanation to the people of Texas on how the PUC, on the PUC's urging and the legislature's acquiescence, how we could reduce the discount to 10% to seniors and low-income persons when the fund balance is at $850 million. I just want an explanation. I think the people of Texas deserve truth in governance, truth in budgeting, truth in tax taxation or surcharge collection. Now, if we're all about truth in governance, and if we want government to be like everybody else, I think somebody needs to explain to the people in the state of Texas how we can reduce on one hand and build a fund balance in the state's account to $850 million. I just think somebody needs to give an explanation.
I think you gave the explanation when you said the balance was built to certify the budget. So, and that's what this committee is supposed to be looking at, is that a practice that we need to discontinue?
I guess the thing, Chairman, that I'm really glad we're having these hearings, and I really appreciate the Speaker doing this, because clearly from all the past 3 days, and especially with this particular fund, the transparency has not been there. We don't know where the funds are being switched around, and to Representative Turner's point, we're trying to find ways to find common ground, compromise, bipartisanship, and efforts to bring all the stakeholders to the table to come out with some kind of moving forward that addresses as many needs as possible, which apparently was done at the origination of this, and then to have it change along the way because we're not staying transparent about how these funds are operating is not serving the citizens of Texas. And, we're also hiding the lack of available sustainable revenue to fund the things that I think Texans expect us to provide. And until we have this transparency and this honesty, I think the legislature is going to be suspect.
To Representative Howard's position, this is not a new position. All of you around this table here know this is not a new position for me on the deal. And people have been a part of allowing this fund balance to get to where it is today, and it's going to be very, 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 very difficult to reduce the corpus without adversely affecting the budget because we've allowed it to get so huge. And let's just have an honest discussion here. Because we've allowed this fund balance to get, it's one thing when you have a fund balance of $140 million, you can wind that down without having a real quantitative impact on the budget. When the fund balance is at $850 million, you can't just give $1 billion away without it tipping the whole ship over. I mean, come on, let's be honest. Let's just have an honest conversation. And one of the reasons that this has happened, because these are elderly and poor people. They don't have lobbyists, and they don't have an advocate in the PUC. The PUC has, instead of championing their cause, the PUC has participated in their hurt and in this diversion of funds. So I'm very critical of the PUC. I'm very critical of the PUC, and the commissioners know that. And I don't step back from that. I think they have done a disservice, not only to the consumers, but to the legislature. And so I am very critical of the commissioners of the PUC. And this is a travesty. And these people are never going to receive their money. They're not. They're not.
The reality is those questions transcend what you're able to answer, or this legislature is able to answer. There's not anybody that's sitting up here does not squirm every time Representative Turner talks about these issues.
I'm through talking. I'm through
Well,
for the rest of the,
I just
next 2
want to assure Representative Turner that.
for the next 2 minutes.
Okay. I may hold you to that. You know, but the reality is, and I applaud leadership for appointing this committee, and each one sitting at this dais, I know, is uncomfortable with where we are today in light of the budget and what we're having to do to balance the priorities of Texas, balance the priorities of expenditures and also revenue. And we have all struggled with this issue. And I pledged to Representative Turner, and I think everyone at this dais would pledge to Representative Turner that let's try to come up with some solutions that make sense. Maybe not to right the ship entirely in the short term, but start moving on the right path to make these pledges to the taxpayers and to the people of Texas that we'll try to address these concerns that he so adequately and every periodically reminds the legislature. He is the conscience of the legislature on this issue. And we are addressing today 2 of the most troublesome funds. This was by design. We moved this to the end, but these are the 2 most troublesome aspects of what we've had to do and what we're trying to fix. So, Brian, thank you. I know you had to sit there. We had to sit up here, and we will continue to try to get the people of Texas an answer to those very, very important issues. So thank you for